A new witness is expected to take the witness stand at the Madlanga Commission in Pretoria this morning. Proceedings adjourned on Thursday last week following the testimony and cross-examination of businessman Brown Mogotsi. Mogotsi made various claims that he could not prove, including a claim about KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi being a CIA operative. We now cross to SABC News anchor Sakina Kamwendo and reporter Canny Maphanga for an update. Sakina, good morning.
Well, morning, Leanne, and welcome to an overcast and dreary capital city. But of course, the news, anything but. And it's so good to see Bulelani Philip, our parliamentary correspondent, up here in Pretoria. Pity we couldn't order better weather. But no doubt it's going to be hot, whether you're at ad hoc or here at Madlanga, Canny Maphanga, because the testimony has just been something of a revelation after revelation. And I'm just going back to Brown Mogotsi from last week and that claim about, CIA agents and him himself being, a contact agent and all of these weird and wonderful things. Whatever happened to I can neither confirm nor deny?
Well, obviously, when you come before the Madlanga Commission, you have to have an explanation because there are specific allegations that they place to you in the Rule 3 notice that you have to answer to before the probe. So essentially, he had to come with some form of a defense before the Commission, as quite frankly, he's at the center of this allegation with at least to respect to Vusimuzi Kat Matlala, because he is the so-called middleman, and the hard evidence is so overwhelming to that fact, because we do see that there are several WhatsApp exchanges that show that he received several benefits from this alleged cartel member, and it also shows that there is conversations with the minister that coincide with that pattern of an alleged benefit towards him. As we understand, according to the audio recordings, Matlala felt that he was contributing towards someone that had close proximity, allegedly, to the minister. However, instead of getting straight to that particular issue that he has to answer to, it seemed that he tried to almost seemingly deflect from the core issues before the probe. And that's when the story comes in about being a contact agent within crime intelligence and that he was conducting operations allegedly against Vusimuzi Kat Matlala and crime intelligence. That's when he introduces these CIA claims against the king of the Amazulu nation and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, and then he attempts to flip the script in the current face of the evidence that we're seeing now and tries to allege that it was actually General Fani Mosamola that allegedly received a bribe and not the generals that we are seeing all over the WhatsApp exchanges receiving some form of an alleged benefit from Matlala or Katiso Katie Mulefe. So he came up with this particular story, but of course when the cross-examination came, that's when the story began to fall flat because of the hard facts that have already been placed before the Commission.
And of course, it was very interesting because we saw later on that the senior counsel, Chaskelson, actually, making, I wouldn't say he was making him out to be, but Brown Mogotsi just didn't come across as a credible witness.
Yes. And that not only whether his version can be accepted by the Commission, but it also leaves the Commission in a position where it has to establish quite a very serious question, and the person at the center of it is seemingly, allegedly not being truthful about what the events were, because there are several flaws that were pointed out, and then more importantly, he admits to lying in his affidavit under oath. And of course, that raises questions as to whether this particular testimony can be trusted or not. I think Justice Madlanga is the one who pointed out that why should they believe that this oath is meaningful when that oath, it was easy for him to know that he was taking an oath, know that he was lying, and then still proceed with that particular process. So it's going to be difficult trying to approach the evidence of Brown Mogotsi, because it seems, if you really look at it overall, is that because he's the central link to the police minister, it does seem that the evidence seems or tries to attempts to distance the police minister from these allegations. But what I think it has done is that it's drawn him closer to the allegations and raised more questions, because it's quite an extraordinary tale to bring before the Commission to answer these very serious allegations that have already been laid out before the probe.
Well, that's from last week with Brown Mogotsi, who was giving his testimony here at the Madlanga Commission. But of course, when we come back in the next hour with Canny, what we will do is try and focus in, hone in on what's to be expected today. And central to the evidence that we are about to hear is, of course, what happened during the arrest of Katiso KT Molefe at his home.